success rarely happens by accident. As a property investor, if you wanting to have a property portfolio of 10, 20, 50, 100 properties, you need to make sure that you've committed to making that happen, and everything you do is taking you towards that goal. Now, it's very, very slim that you'll wake up one day, unless you plan this, and you'll have a nice cash flowing portfolio that provides you with ample cash flow each and every month, and obviously, hopefully, a nice financial fortress around you and your family. Unless you've got very, very wealthy relatives who kindly left you the portfolio that they've built up. So success really requires you to make sure you keep getting up, you keep showing up. Now, I don't want to turn this into some motivational video, definitely not. But what I do want to try and help people understand is, especially if any of my mentees are watching this, for you to grow your portfolio, by the end of year 1, by the end of year 3, by the end of year 5, you need to be doing things each and every day that are taking you closer to where you need to get to. So if your goal is to have 1 or 2 properties by the end of the year, what are you doing to make sure that happens? If by the end of year 3 and year 5, you're looking to have 5, 10, 20 properties, what are you doing to make sure that happens? Okay, so try not to get bogged down in the daily activity. Just think to yourself, just think to yourself, what is it that I need to do in order to keep moving forward and keep your eye on the long-term goals, okay? So I say this, I've said it for over 20 years, teaching over 10,000, students on the black belt journey. Goals plus commitment equals success. And it's that commitment aspect so many people miss out on. For you to be successful in property, you need to commit to doing, the things that are going to take you close to where you need to get to. That might be raising finance, that might be going out networking, that might be attending viewings, it might be doing more and more research, controlling the refurbs. It's likely to be a mixture of all those things depending on whereabouts you are in your career. You might have a very successful business which is providing you with decent dividends each and every year, and you're wanting to offload those into property because you know the benefits of property and how the benefits of property, when done properly, far outpace just putting money in a dormant savings account or an ISA and so on. So success leaves clues. Follow success and success will follow. I'm sure you've heard of all those success quotes. Success is not a straight line. They're all fantastic, but what they all miss out is the commitment aspect of it. So again, when you're looking at people like, I don't know if it was Edmund Hill, I don't think it was, I think it was Murray, one of the first Antarctic explorers and so on, always understood the importance of committing to it. And I think Arnold Schwarzenegger says it as well, he doesn't have a plan B, he just focuses on plan A, because if I've got a plan B, I'm likely to, throw out plan A really. Now, again, completely different people, completely different mindsets, achieve different things, but it's the commitment aspect that we need to understand really. So if you're looking to be a black belt investor, the best time for you to commit to that is not when you're 3 years into the journey. It's when you're first starting off and when you're thinking, right, I need to take this seriously now because I want to make sure that in 4 or 5 years' time, I'm in a good position now, but I want to be in an even better position. Okay, so you've got to commit to that journey. And that's where I help a lot of my mentees, definitely with a commitment. And I'll touch on it briefly in, my latest book there. So you might want to invest in a copy of that. The Property Investor's Blueprint, a black belt approach to property investing. I think there's 350, 360 pages in there, something like that. Yes, it touches upon strategies and how to raise finance and bits and pieces, but it's more important embedded within, though, it's available on Amazon. More important is embedded pretty much throughout most of the chapters there, is the mindset side of things and understanding how you need to look at things through those black belt eyes, through the black belt lens. What would a black belt investor do? So we're currently now analysing, we've had our eye in this area now for a few years really, just to try and diversify a little bit. The property prices for equivalent properties in our normal investment area, they're a lot cheaper where we're looking to invest, but as a result then, or as obviously by the same token, the rent is a little bit cheaper, but the entrance value is quite considerably lower, and therefore our return on cash employed, our ROCE, is higher than it is in our current investment area. Now again, all areas have got pros and cons. Okay, so if you're lucky enough to be investing in city centres, especially London and so on, you know that the cash flow isn't amazing if it's just a rental, but the capital growth will be through the roof if you manage to keep hold of it over the next 10, 20, 30 years and so on. Which, one thing I tell my mentees, never sell your properties unless, because there's always an unless, you're releasing that money to put it into another property which better suits your investment criteria, really. Because we're going through that, I'm not going to say dilemma, we're going through that choice now. We might offload the first property that we ever bought back in 2007 because it's not in the best area. It's leased out on a 5-year full FRI lease, full repairing and insuring lease, provides cash flow. But again, if we were to get a private tenant in there, you know, we can understand it being quite a bit of a headache like it has been before. So if we did come to sell that, it wouldn't be a sell it just to release the equity and then, you know, go out and buy a liability and so on. It'd be to then invest in another property. So again, there's always exceptions to the rule. But getting back to this main point of this video, success leaves clues, fantastic. You know, follow success and success follows. Brilliant. Success is not a straight line. You know, the 10-year, the overnight success, 10 years in the making and so on. We're all familiar with all those, but it's that commitment aspect that I help a lot of my mentees out with. You need to obviously commit to yourself, and that's the first deal, really. It's not, again, I touch on this in my book, it's not the deal that you do for that 1-bedroom apartment or that 2-bed mid-terrace or that 3-bed end townhouse or semi. Those are all parts of the journey, but it's the commitment to yourself to become that better person, to become the better individual, and again, it's appreciating the journey along the way, really. So I study a lot of successful people, and lots of them, when they're in the height of the game, it's fantastic. But then they also understand, especially when you're looking at studying professional athletes and so on, even, you know, astronauts, where do you go after you've achieved that? Okay, so after you've been to the moon, where do you then go? After being at the top of your game, being paid millions a month, where do you then go when you're injured or you, I suppose, quote unquote, past it? So you need to have that commitment there with yourself to think, right, this is my goal. Each year I want to build on my net wealth. I want to increase my passive income. And I also want to make sure I'm becoming better or more knowledgeable, but not only knowledgeable, but applying that knowledge to my property, to my business, and to my life as well, to become obviously more and more valuable to the marketplace. So yeah, like I said, I tried not to turn this into a motivational type of thing, and anybody that's watched my videos before and so on will know that I'm not like a hype type of property mentor, even though really, yes, I do help people with the property journey, but my work with my mentees is more about them, training them to help them with the judgment, the discipline, and the self-control, really, the perseverance and the grit to help them become that better property investor, and in some cases help them become a better business owner. So yeah, understand how important that commitment is. Strip it back to your why. Why am I investing in property? Is it because I think that it's going to be a good thing? Is it because I want to stroke my ego a little bit? Or is it because I understand that it's going to preserve my money a little bit better than putting it in the bank, or a lot better than putting it in the bank? It's going to provide me with cash flow. It's going to help me be able to leverage other things. It's going to help me access more capital. So again, pull it back to your why. Success is out there for you if you want it, but you need to work for it. And check out another video that I've just done as well. Maybe have a look at the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle rule as well. Analyze what you're doing all of the time and ask yourself, is it taking me closer to or further from where I need to get to? So yeah, I didn't want to turn it into a motivational type of video, but if anything in this video has resonated with you, like I said, I'm not a traditional type of property mentor that'll teach you all the basics of buy-to-let and of SA and title splits and flips and BRRR. Of course I can do that, but my role with my mentees is to help them with that, really, but it's more about them getting clued into that mindset that's going to help them move further forward, really. So just before I finish, check out, there might be a pinned comment on this video. If there isn't, maybe check out the website, my name, dervishdervish.com. Apply for mentorship. We review applications on a weekly basis. But if you're looking for a, get rich in 30, 60, 90 days, hype type of mentor, don't apply, because that's not us. We're after serious, committed people that understand that this is a journey moving forward and how we can apply it to every area of our life, really. And before I forget, invest in a copy of that, The Property Investor's Blueprint, a black belt approach to property investing. It is available on Amazon. And I'm not saying it so that we get the £4 from Amazon, definitely not, or £5, whatever it is. But hopefully it'll help you along your journey. And if you find it useful, which I'm sure you will do me a big favour, please, and leave a review so other readers can understand the benefits it brings and so on. So yeah, take care, all the best. Remember, success leaves clues, easy. Follow success and success will follow. Easy, success is not a straight line, but the most important thing is goals plus, underline this, commitment equals success, okay? We've all got goals, but it's that commitment aspect of it. What you're doing to make sure that you stay on the straight and narrow and commit and are not turning into a slacker. And obviously you want to make sure you're becoming the best version of yourself. Good luck and all the best. Take care.